So let's find out how we can deflame, lose weight, and even reverse diabetes with Twinkies and double cheeseburgers. Now, I know that sounds shocking if you have read or looked at this book or know me that I would say such a thing because the cover of the book clearly shows us that all of our problems from a dietary perspective come from overeating the foods that I just said we can eat and still reverse these problems. Well, how do we know it's true? Well, we'll go over that in a couple seconds. But this video is designed for those who catastrophize when trying to change how they eat. People literally have a withdrawal reaction, massive negative reactions, because they think they have to go absolutely cold turkey from perfecto up top after living in the flame for so long. And that is simply not true. So this video is designed for the dietary crackheads who suffer substantially when trying to deal with reversing their dietary problems. And this dietary crackhead term is actually a very, very good term because researchers have shown that the brain's response to sugar, flour, and refined oils, like a donut, the brain's response to those calories, which are not foods, they're calorie sources, is essentially the same response that one gets when they would otherwise take actual crack. This was published back a couple of years ago, and you can watch the YouTube if you wish. It was done at Connecticut College. It's a little short news bit about this professor and his student. Studies suggest Oreos may be as addictive to rats as drugs like cocaine. Turns out that this little rat and his friends, they ate the Oreo center just like humans. Much more sugary, we like it more, and then ate the cookies later. I always, in my Oreo cookie eating days, I would eat them together to get the combination because after eating the middle and then trying to eat the outside, you just kind of like, it's not quite as good. Eat it together, to me, tasted a lot better when I was in the old days doing the cookie and milk thing. So we know that we've got this addiction problem to this food. Nobody out there should think that they're the only one who has a problem with these foods. Everybody does. They either have a problem, in other words, they would like to eat a lot more chips that are not sugary but filled with refined flour and salt. Pretzels, same thing, refined flour and salt, or it could be the refined flour, sugar, and refined oils, and even some salt. And so one either has the sugary sweet tooth or just the floury tooth, and people hate to give those substances up. So in an extreme fashion, one could actually improve in the short term inflammatory markers by just, get ready, by just eating Twinkies. The Twinkie diet helps this professor from Kansas State University lose 27 pounds. What do you do for 10 weeks? It's beautiful. For 10 weeks, Dr. Mark Hub, I'm presuming it's Dr. Mark Hub, human nutrition professor, ate one of these sugary cakelets every 3 hours instead of meals. What did he eat? Hostess and Little Debbie snacks, Dorito chips, sugary cereals, Oreos, etc. So what he did was he limited himself to 1,800 calories per day. He needed 2,000 to 2,500 per day. I think the estimate was about 2,500 for him, his age. And in 10 weeks, he lost 27 pounds. Also improving was his triglyceride levels, living on essentially pure sugar and flour. Also improved where his LDL cholesterol went down, HDL cholesterol went up. And that seems shocking, and the reason why it's shocking is because people think that they pay too much attention on an actual food rather than the more broad view of the diet itself in the context of something that's very important that is also often sort of downplayed now is calorie intake. When we consume less calories than we burn, probably when you hit about 500 less in particular, the body loves that. The body, for short terms, thrives on a low-calorie diet. The human body loves that, and the outcome is reduction of inflammation. So short term, now I suspect, and we don't know, of course, that long term living on on sweet rolls, even if it's less than the calories that we need, we'll probably have some pro-inflammatory effects long term because there are no phytonutrients, there is no fiber, and so likely there would be problems. There's no omega-3s, so no monounsaturated fatty acids. So long term likely to be problematic, but short term, one can deal with it. So this is looking at a McDonald's double cheeseburger. I ran into someone recently who decided that they wanted to reverse their diabetes, and they read or heard that you could do it by eating 600 calories per day. So every day for 30 days, actually longer than that, he ate for lunch a double cheeseburger. 437 calories, and he ate no more than 200 more calories per day. So, 600 to 700 calories per day for 30 days, and in that time period, he reversed diabetes, eating double cheeseburgers. So it is certainly doable, and to watch an entire movie about this, I would recommend that anyone out there who is a dietary crackhead and suffering over giving up the foods that they love and that they're addicted to, watch this movie. This guy, Tom Naughton, did a magnificent job demonstrating how he could lose, I forget how much weight, but he did it in 30 days, just eating mostly at several fast food restaurants, but mostly McDonald's. And he limited his total carbohydrate intake to 100 carbohydrates or less per day and ate no more than 2,000 calories per day. His goal was to be about 1,800 per day. He estimated he needed to, his caloric balance was at about 22 to 2,500 per day. He did this for a month, lost weight, total cholesterol went down. In his case, LDL, it may have gone down, I think, but HDL also went down. HDL going down is a sign that you're eating trans fats, which he acknowledged in the movie. So if you are a dietary crackhead and you are suffering and you cannot help give up the foods that you think are the problem in a vacuum, my suggestion is to look through the information I presented earlier about the professor doing the Twinkies, the individual I mentioned who ate cheeseburgers at McDonald's versus diabetes, and then the movie Fathead. And then that can help put this in better context. Now, ideally, we should eat largely these calories, or I should say we should dump all these calories and replace them with vegetation calories. But many people cannot easily do that. You shouldn't slap yourself around and think that you're weak or lack willpower. Who cares? Who cares? The people who are most aggressive with this anti-inflammatory eating and the intermittent fasting, all the rest of it, are highly aggressive, competitive individuals. In most cases, not always, but in most cases, and the average person is just not like that. So the thing is to reduce your caloric intake, have a cupcake if you want. Make sure you check out Chapter 9 in the DeFlame diet book that allows you to track your markers of inflammation. And don't freak out. Don't freak out and think that everything is lost just because you can't go cold turkey.